some days you just never know what's going to show up here at Cape Copters. So, Paul Simon here. The other day, Dan Fordice came by and brought his P51 Mustang down. He was on his way home from Oshkosh, going back down to Mississippi. And he stopped by he just started flying helicopters. I think he got a total of 12 hours of helicopter time. And his flight instructor, who is one of the Aeroshell team guys, had came and flew with us once, and that was his contact point. And so he gave me a call, and on his way down to come stopping by, we're going to do a little training. And he was gracious enough to take Dean for a ride in the P51. So this is going to be a multi-part series. I think probably about 3 parts, maybe 4. And the last part or two of that is going to be taking Dean for a ride in the P51 and seeing how much fun he had there. So, all right, let's go with it.
So we do it just a little differently. We do our mag check at 90 instead of 75, but if you like doing 75, that's absolutely fine. The reason we do them at 90 instead of 75 is if you got a mag drop, you're going to have a heck of a lot more of a mag drop at 90 than you are at 70.
I don't have any doubt of it at 90.
No. All right, go ahead and we're basically touching green, so come on up to 75 or 90, your choice.
Yeah, governor's off, so it's not gonna.
Yep. There you go. Go ahead and up to the left hand, do a mag check. All right, and then go slightly left, get the horn and the light. There you go. And roll it towards you to split your needles. There you go, and then reestablish right at 70. There you go. Pre-takeoff left, clear area. We're clear to the left. Clear on the right. Door seatbelt secure. Warning lights are out. Gauges are in the green. Green, green, green. Plenty of fuel. More than enough. Radios are tuned. I guess we ought to get on the tower here. All right, and come off with your cyclic friction, and then your collective friction. The reason you come off with cyclic friction first is you want directional control of the aircraft for any chance that collective coming up and getting in the area. So come on forward on your collective now. Tower here. I think the winds are out of the north here. Cape Tower, helicopter 979 Romeo Mike.
9 Romeo Mike Tower.
Sir, on the ramp, Cape Copter, I'd like to lift, depart down Foxtrot, and enter a left downwind for runway 2. All right, go ahead and roll on up.
9 Romeo Mike, hold your position on the ramp for now. Got traffic landing 10.
Yeah, we'll hold our position on the ramp for 9 Romeo Mike. All right, go ahead and roll her up to 90% and turn on the governor.
One Lima Hotel, are you still up on tower?
All right, if you don't mind, I had the aircraft for a second. I'm just going to turn you into the wind at a hover and let you get a little hover
I knew I had the
practice
Lima
there.
Hotel part right. I've already forgot where you said you were landing and where you're going to work. You.
All right, that's pretty much into the wind. I'm going to let you have it here.
Copy all. We're going to have one helicopter in the pattern of runway 2 in just a few minutes.
Okay, roger that. 0 Lima Hotel.
Hold what you got here, dumbass. Not terrible after 2 months.
No, not bad. Not bad.
Come on.
On Romeo Mike, departure, Toronto risk, uncontrolled moving area, use caution. The wind 030 at 5 and altimeter 3009. Left downwind for 2 and report midfield.
Left downwind, give you a call midfield for 2 for 9 Romeo Mike. All right, just head on right on down Foxtrot there.
Left at taxiway Bravo, you can roll it out down the runway and into parking with me.
Delta South, sir.
That works as well. Now make a right on taxiway Alpha when you're off of Delta. And taxi to park up to the ramp. There'll be a 0-turn motor.
Okay, now we're going to treat Foxtrot just like it's a runway. So go ahead and get your nose down a little bit. Well,
thank you, sir.
We're going to take off here?
Yep, take off, just like this was a runway. Make a left downwind for runway 2. Yeah, remember, we're helicopters, though. You gotta push your pedals there.
Yep. Jimmy, keep
Sometimes what
get
I'll
off the rudder.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll have people just take their feet off the pedals.
Yep.
And fly, do a bunch of turning back and forth. And you ain't got to do it, you know. 9 Romeo Mike's on the midfield, downwind, runway 2.
9 Romeo Mike, cleared option runway 2. And just over the hill, they're sitting on their truck now. Is the spray helicopter that was up at your shop earlier. And they're going to be working south of the ridgeline there.
All right, yeah, we'll be looking. Thanks.
All right, so what are we doing?
We're going to come around and come in for a landing.
Okay.
Just kind of shoot for the touchdown markers on the fixed distance markers or whatever you like to call them. You come on around, start coming down. Have you and Jimmy done any autos at all yet?
No. That's why, I think that's really why he wanted to come up
Well,
here.
let's do that then. All right, stay down here with me.
I think he feels real comfortable with that right now, a whole bunch.
So now we're going to enter at 70. I'm going to come down, roll off, up a little bit with the collective. I'll tell you why you got to check up a little bit with the collective here in a minute. I'm going to have you just follow me through a couple here. And these will be power recovery to start off with. I think we can make the runway now. So we're coming down, roll off, up a little with the collective. I like that.
And airport
looking for a speed of 70. That looks pretty good. If we're a little fast, that's okay.
One helicopter
checking up a little on the collective. That looks fine.
Holding short runway 2.
We're right at 100% on the RPMs, or right at 70 there. Get about right here, we start a flare. And we're just going to kind of flare into it and floating. I have the aircraft now. It'll be a full down. And just let it slide a little bit.
That's not terrible.
Nah. They're a lot more scary than you thought, huh? Or not nearly as scary as you thought, huh? All right, let it come on up there. All right, you have the aircraft. Come in just a little bit of left pedal, about like that. Looking down the runway, go ahead and pick her up and go. And 9 Romeo Mike will be on the go.
9 Romeo Mike, roger.
Oh, now, come on, damn it.
All right, try her again there. I just barely creep it in. Let it almost surprise you when it lifts.
Yep.
There you go, just barely up.
Damn it.
All right, here, go ahead and depart. Now just barely come down with your nose and just a little bit of collective, not a whole lot of it.
Helicopter 0 hotel.
And we'll come around on a left downwind again. So when you pick up and you transition out for your departure, bring it up to, so it takes the most power to hover, right?
Okay, tower.
So if you barely lower your nose a little bit, and try to transition out with pulling just, almost none at all, or just a minimum amount of collective, sometimes you can do it with none at all.
Airport
And
7
that's a really good habit to have, because you're not going to over torque, especially when you get to flying turbines.
Airport 7
You
across.
can smoke a turbine real bad.
Across 201 out.
I can tell you some over torque stories that'll make your hair turn green.
All right, how high you want to go? What are we doing?
Yeah, about this fine. Really. And 9 Romeo Mike's on the downwind, runway 2.
9 Romeo Mike, extend your downwind. I'm going to have a Cessna depart.
Extending her downwind for 9 Romeo Mike. So we'll just run the downwind. He'll call her base.
Runway 10 and say again your direction.
Clear for takeoff 99 Golf. Runway 10 will be a northwest departure.
Roger, you can make the left turn out for the northwest.
Left turn out for 99 Golf.
So the power recovery is what you guys will be practicing mostly.
Yeah.
And the only difference between it and the pull down is...
I have no traffic for you off to the end.
The flare.
See you later.
Yeah.
Go back to the power.
We'll come in and flare. So we're going to enter at 70, come down, roll, back up a little bit. We ride the glide at 70 and get down here. We're going to flare at about, started flared about 15 feet.
Confirm off of
Flare
runway
into it.
20.
It's going to float a little bit, float. About the time it's starting to settle, we're going to come up with the collective a little bit.
Airport 7, roger.
Up with the collective and then down with the nose. And I'm going to demonstrate one of those, and then I'll have you follow through. Or I'll follow you through, rather.
9 Romeo Mike, base turn approved. Cleared option, runway 2.
Here's option runway 2, 9 Romeo Mike. So I'm coming down, rolling off, back up about that far with the collective. And just a little bit of right pedal at the same time. You know, when you lower the collective, you got to bring in a little right pedal. When you raise the collective, a little bit of left pedal. So the other thing is when you lower the collective like that, and every helicopter, when you lower the collective, the nose is going to tend to droop on you a little bit. So you got to hold just a little bit of back pressure. You're not trying to, raise the nose at the entry. You're just trying to keep it from drooping a bunch and speeding way up. All right, let's go ahead and slow down to 70 there. And the altitude winner, that doesn't really matter. All right, now stay down here with me. You got to hold everything.
All right, I got it.
So again, I'm going to come down, roll, back up a little bit, and right pedal, a little left stick. Down, roll, back up a little bit. I like that. Speed's a little slow, so we're going to lower our nose. About like that. Looking. I'm going to check up a tiny bit on the collective. When you come up on the collective, that lowers your RPM. When you lower the collective, it raises it. We'll leave right there. I'm going to just barely check down. There you go. Our speed's a little fast, but that's okay. I'd rather have it a little fast and a little slow. Now, even if the horn tweaks at us, doesn't matter. We're good. Now, we're looking out the window. Right about here, we're going to start a flare. Flare into it, floating. Now up, nice and slow on the collective. Now down with you, and a little bit of left pedal. All right, good. You head the aircraft. We'll go around. I'm gonna follow you through this one. Here we go. And now, there you go. Just barely lower your nose. There you go. Got it.
Airport 7, that's approved.
Smoothly. All right, so now I'm going to follow you through, and I'll tell you, if I use the word check, I'm talking about the collective. If I say check up a little bit or check down a little bit, if I say lower or raise, I'm talking about the nose. Yep.
What altitude's best?
Oh, let's go up to about 800 indicated to be fine, 900, whatever. If I have to help you a little bit, I will, but I'll tell you first. I'll say, check up a little bit. If you don't do it, I'll check up a little bit for you.
Please.
And I'm Romeo Mike's on the downwind for 2.
9 Romeo Mike, cleared option 2.
Cleared option 2, 9 Romeo Mike. All right, check on down to about 20 inches there. We're plenty high.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Hell, you can do an auto rotation from 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and start your turn. Now, remember, it's down, then roll the throttle off. Try not to roll the throttle off. That guys do that, too.
All right, here we are. We're in good shape.
Yeah, I'm going to have you count it down. Go ahead and count down. 3, 2, 1.
All the way
down. All the way down. Roll it off.
And roll it off.
Up a little bit. About like that.
Keep it at 70.
I'm going to have you check down just a little bit. Right about there. Now just wait on it. The RPMs are just a little high. We're going to check up a little bit. Right there. Kind of leave it right there. Be fine. Even if the horn tweaks at us, don't chase it. Just leave your collector right where you got it. Got plenty of runway. Don't worry about that. Looking good. Looking out the window. I'll start your little flare. There you go. Got a flare into it. Now up on the collective. Up on the collective. Nice and slow. Nice and slow.
And left rudder, dummy.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Just ease down on the nose a little. Let her get going a bit.
That's not terrible.
Nah, they're only as scary as you make them. We ain't gonna make them very scary.
Speed up here.
The reason we went so far is because we started up, you know, a little higher than the other.
We were up high and close.
And 9 runway Mike's on downwind for runway 2.
9 runway Mike, cleared option 2.
There's that runway 2, 9 runway Mike.
Starting to feel a little more comfortable here.
Yeah.
I don't need to be waiting 2 months between flights.
Yeah. Well, like I say, if you get caught up, got some time on your hands, look back, do some flying, man. Come on.
I will. You're not too far away.
No, it's relatively close flight. Hey, get up here in the 150 in 2 hours. All right, go ahead and turn inbound when you're ready. So again, remember on the way down, going to go down, roll, back up with a collective. Any bit of right pedal there, just kind of holding the aircraft level. We're shooting for right at 70 on the glide. If we're a little fast, that's okay. And 100% or just slightly under 100% on the RPM.
All right.
All right, ready.
3,
Ready.
2, 1. Down.
All the way down. All the way down.
Roll it off.
Back up, 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 up.
Back up a little bit.
Yep.
And
I'll help keep
bring it
rolled
back to
off.
7.
All right, check down. Yeah, it's plenty. Right there. That's plenty. That'll do it. Now lower the nose a little bit so we don't slow down. Remember, extra speed's okay. Just don't want to get slow.
Don't go below 70.
Looking out the window. Start your flare. Now, let it float, let it float. Now up on your collector. There you go. Now stop pulling collector right about there. Let it give it a chance to catch up. There you go. All right, good to go. Barely ease on out of here.
That's not bad, though.
Yep. Now you'll start coming up with the collective, and then at one point you kind of hold on the collective and give it a chance to catch up. If you keep coming up, it's almost like going to too high a gear in your car, you know, and it won't let your RPMs recover quite as quick. How long were you up at the Oshkosh?
Well, I left home last Tuesday. I got to Oshkosh Sunday. We go to Dubuque and practice formation flying.
Did you do some flying at Oshkosh?
Oh, yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Where else am I going to get to fly 4 ships with Mustang?
Yeah, I think I probably got some video of you.
Yeah.
Flying.
I flew every day. Don't get to do that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my buddies give me a ration of crap because I go to sleep early. Hell, I'm going flying in the morning.
Yeah,
y'all can stay up and drink all night.
979 Romeo Mike's on it now on runway 2.
9 Romeo Mike, cleared option 2.
There's the option 2, 9 Romeo Mike. So, for the sake of redundancy, when you do your entry, down, roll, back up a little bit. At 70, we're going to try to keep it right at 70. And, you know, as you do your entry,
231
a
Charlie.
little bit of back pressure to keep the nose from tucking.
The wind is 0405, altimeter
And a teeny bit of right pedal.
Left midfield downwind for 2.
All right.
If you want going out that way a little bit more.
Midfield for runway.
Proud to myself in here every time.
9 Romeo Mike on the go.
Get a little further out.
I'm sorry, I missed that for 9 Romeo Mike.
On the go, it'll be right traffic, Mooney inbound for the left downwind.
I had pattern on the go, 9 Romeo Mike. Okay, go ahead and make your turn. All right, go ahead and bleed off just a little bit of speed, just barely raise your nose a little. We can stay up here. All right, now just level your nose. There you go. I'm ready when you are. 3, 2,
1. Down.
All the way down, all the way down. Roll it, back up.
Off and back up.
Yep, there's a second. Got to come up a little bit quicker.
A little bit more. Okay.
There you go. Just got to come up. All right, check down a little bit. Right there, that's fine. And we just hold it. It'll cover just fine. Now going to check down a smidgen more. About like that. Looking good. Now don't lower it. Don't raise your nose. Take a breath. Looking out the window. Start a little flare. I just hold it right about like that. It's going to float and float and float. Now up with the collective. Nice and slow. Slow up on the collective. Don't pull. Don't pull anymore. All right.
Oh, yeah, I was way up there, wasn't I?
Yes. So, yeah, you know, you get it up there and then just kind of slow and let it recover a little bit. It'll recover. All right, good to go.
Left downwind for runway 2.
Now we're done.
231 Charlie.
Right hand pattern.
Runway 2.
Clear to land, runway 2, 231 Charlie.
There you go. There's translational lift. A lot of times what I'll do, I'll have the students when they're soloing, they practice, I'll have them practice, come up to, 4-foot hover, so then just try to ease out of here without pulling any extra collective. See if you get it in the air and climbing, And usually you can if you take your time with it.
And 9 Romeo Mike, you can disregard the right traffic, you can make left traffic. The Mooney's about to turn left base.
Left-hand pattern for 9 Romeo Mike.
Lived here forever?
Say again?
Lived here forever?
Have I lived here? Oh, yeah. Probably about 30 years, I guess, like that. I moved here when my kids were little. I like it here.
I'm in the construction business and we work on the river.
Really?
But just down south here.
9 Romeo Mike's on downwind runway 2. Man,
9 Romeo Mike, your number 2 following the Mooney in the left base. You are cleared option runway 2, number 2.
Number 2, we got the Mooney in sight for 9 Romeo Mike. Yeah, I'm down your neck of woods quite often. I go down to Gulf Shores with students. I got a guy down there that does DPE, does all the check rides for the. I get to teach people how to fly gyroplanes too. He does. It's actually one of my old students. He's a DPE now, and we're down there quite often.
Are you a DPE?
I'm not a DPE. I thought about it, but so busy doing this.
Yeah. And Jimmy stays pretty busy with it with all those college kids and all.
All right, let's check down a little bit. We don't have to go any higher.
Oh, yep. It's one thing that I've got. I don't have a good feel for hardly any of this. I got to look at the gauges. It's almost like flying IFR here.
Yeah. Well, it'll get to the point where you don't have to look at anything, and it needs to get to that point. It ought to be reflective.
Yeah.
Or about the only thing you're really looking at is, rotor RPM, and to be very, airspeed, and to be very honest with you, you go ahead and make your turn there. If you lose an engine when the engine rolls down, you don't hear it before the horn ever goes,
Right. Yeah.
Charlie's going to Cape Aviation.
And the more you do it, the more you get used to what it's supposed to sound like. Hell, you don't have to really look at them. When I learned how to fly airplanes, the guy that taught me how to fly, he covered up the whole panel. And he's like,
everything.
Yep. He's like, if you can't get this son of a bitch around the pattern and land it without looking at anything, you probably ought to just stay at home or find you pick up golf.
All right, we're at 1100. Tell me when we can make the runway.
just about the top of the panel. We ain't gonna make it yet, so just about the top of that panel. So if you were to enter right about now, we'd make the runway. So you can enter anytime you're ready now.
3, 2, 1, down.
All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Roll, back
Roll
up.
it off.
Come on,
back up.
Yep.
Here we go.
Now, if the
All right,
horn tweaks that shit,
70.
don't worry about it.
Charlie's clear over there too.
As long as your airspeed's okay, you don't really have to worry about it. Check now. Yeah, that's fine. Just right there. Looking good.
All right, now let's get over the runway.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Now, down a little with the nose, just to preserve that speed. Don't even chase your horn. It's fine. Don't even worry.
Get slow.
It's okay. We're all right. Airspeed's still reasonable. Looking out the window. Start your flare. Kind of hold what you got. Hold it. Hold it.
Roger,
it. Up on the collective. Nice and slow. There you go. Now quit pulling. Quit pulling on the collective and weight on it. There you go. Now we'll pull it. Got to get your nose down. So let me show you something here. Stay on here with me. At the end of it, you keep your nose up.
Our Malibu 64.
And we're driving it.
On the RNAV runway 2.
Tango Whiskey, Roger, continue, give me a call 3 mile final. I got one helicopter working the pattern.
Okay, we'll call you at 364 Tango Whiskey.
So at the end, we're going to get our skids level. Let me show you what happens if you lower your nose too quickly. Like here's the end of the auto, right? Now, if I level the skids, watch what happens. It wants to fall out of the sky like that. So we're going to keep our nose up at the end, and I'm pulling collective, and about the time it's about ready to stop, then we're going to level the nose like that. All right?
Yeah.
What you don't want to do is keep it too high and start sliding backwards, because guess what? Now it really wants to fall out of the sky if you start sliding backwards. Okay, you have the aircraft.
Aircraft.
Straight ahead. Barely lower the nose, just barely.